We all need a reset. Every year around this time, I start thinking about Hume Lake and just resting and just crashing for a while. Let my mind just completely go. It's so refreshing just to not have a schedule, not have anything you have to do except be there at meal times and enjoy what God has done. In our devotional today, we see that that's exactly what God does, is he provides a reset for the entire creation. Creation had completely got off track, and there was evil that was abounding, and God provided that reset. He allowed those that wanted to be a part of that reset to join him in it, and Noah built an ark. They provided an open door for anybody that wanted to come. And so we see that in this reset that God creates a covenant. And he mentions this in Genesis 6:18 that will ultimately point to Genesis 9. But in 6:18 it says, "But with thee I will establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wives and thy sons' wives with thee." And so he says, I'm going to establish this covenant. And what's amazing is that Noah had trusted God all these years. And so he trusted God in establishing a covenant that would be good for him and good for the creation, not really even knowing what it is. And that's faith. That's amazing. We see that covenants are based on relationship, and that trust that Noah had in God was built on relationship. Now, in the covenant, we're going to find that there's some promises that God provides Noah. There's also going to be some stipulations, and then there'll be consequences, often referred to as curses, that you'll find in covenants. So when we fast forward and take a look in chapter 9, we're going to see that part of that reset was to be fruitful and multiply. Well, that would make sense because he pretty much started with a clean slate. And then he told him that he was going to rule over the creation. Well, this is exactly what we see that God had Adam doing. And then he does expand some things a bit. In verses 3 through 5 of chapter 9, he, instead of just the vegetation that they can eat, now every creeping thing is there for food. Now, he does put a stipulation, and that is they're not to eat blood. And we're going to see how this is going to unfold in the story. But just as there was one stipulation in the garden, there's one stipulation here. You can see the importance of the reset. And so God is good. He wanted to bring everything back to the original state. It had gotten so far off track. We can get off track. Earlier I talked about the vacation and that being kind of a physical reset, but here we see this is kind of a spiritual reset. And we can get off track, and we need to have that spiritual reset. We talk about recommitting to the Lord and these sorts of things, and it is a recognition that, man, I have really gone out there. Why don't you today commit to the Lord to reset and reestablish some of the commitments that you made to him? And if you haven't made any, I would encourage you to commit your life to the Lord in salvation. Take this time to really evaluate where you're at. Look at what God has given us. Reset your life. May God bless you.